right, there it is. The track by T Major, G Wonder. That was awesome.
Yeah, amazing.
That's right. It's got to change. Anyways, we're here. We're going to be speaking to Lynn Adamson later, change activists, all about change.
That's right.
But right now we got Rob Shaw here. Rob, great to have you on the show.
Thank you, Hugh.
All right. So now, in my extensive research in preparation for this interview,
The last 5 minutes. You mean?
I have 3 words: evaluating business opportunities.
Yes.
Is that the essence of what we're going to be talking about today?
I believe so. I think that's kind of up to Vanessa to guide the conversation where she wants it to go. But that's kind of the message that I want to be able to get to people, help them actually evaluate.
Okay.
So
Business opportunities.
yes.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, it's really important because because more and more people are being put in a role where they need to. They have to be self-employed.
Yeah.
They have to, or they have to start their own business because the big companies are just not employing people like they did, and people can't rely on, a job for their life anymore like they could in the good old days. So
Yeah.
it sounds like the kind of thing that's increasingly important. What's your background? Like, what's your story? How did you get into this?
Well, it's a pretty good story. Actually, it's a long story. I started off as an electrician, worked really hard for a lot of years, and never really wanted to have my own business because I saw my parents working pretty hard at a business and never really getting too far. And then, when I got into my apprenticeship, I saw my boss working hard nights and weekends and stuff, and I didn't really want to do that. And he made a bit more money than I did, but I had a lot more free time than he did, and I had no headaches. But I worked really hard there, and 7 years later he said, hey, you know what, I'm going to try it without an employee. And so I was out of a job. So I scrambled and I found something, and I was lucky enough that a 2-week gig turned into 7 years. And but then again, the company was slow, and they said to the junior guys, see you later, thanks a lot. And so it happened again. And then I got my third stint at another big company, and this time actually I was pretty happy, and I never really wanted to have my own business, but something was introduced to me and made sense, and then I kind of got the entrepreneurial switch turned on. And once that happens, you really can't go back. But I tried some stuff and I didn't know what to look for, and really that's what the message that I want to get out to the people here today, because you can say I want to do something, and people will get you into something.
Yeah.
And you go in based on faith or them, and you really don't know what to do. You don't know how to evaluate something, and there's so many out there that we get bombarded by them every day, and unless you really know, it's very challenging to be successful.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you're going to give us some tips to evaluate business opportunity, because, like as you said, I'm bombarded also by all kinds of opportunities. So what does a person look for?
Well, first off, I believe there's 5 critical things. Like when I look at any business, somebody comes up to me, I look at a couple of things. Is there residual income, and is there some kind of leverage? Residual income being where you can have like a real estate asset. You put the property together or whatever, and it pays you month after month after month. You really want that. That's how the wealthy get wealthy. They don't continue to. What we don't realize. We're told to get a good job and work really hard, but as soon as that job ends, you're done. You don't keep getting paid, and you don't have leverage in a job. So you want to look at, you want to make sure that there is leverage, and you want to make sure. I have a principle that I've learned from so many mentors, that you need to have something where you're actually helping people. Where you're not getting something from people. If you're adding value to the marketplace, so is it valuable? Are you helping people? Is there leverage? Is there residual income? And so, when those are some principles. You want to be ahead of a trend. You don't want to be behind the trends. My parents, in their business, my dad, he was brilliant at fixing TVs and radios, but guess what? People don't do that anymore. So he was on the tail end of a trend, and struggled, and really didn't be able to, he wasn't able to make it. You want to have products that make sense, products that people want, that are appealing to the masses. You want to make sure that people can afford what you've got, people need what you've got, and that it's, it's consumable, and that it's unique. It's not like something else that's out there. You don't want to try and sell vitamins, say, you know, because everybody's got, you go to GNC, there's tons of vitamins, so you know, you have to explain why yours is better, you have to compete with everybody else, compete on price, and you know, you're better marketing, and you want to be able to, you know, you really want to look at the company and make sure this it's a solid company. Vanessa, I'm sure that if you've looked at things before, you know there's so many new ones, and you know, they're here today and they're gone tomorrow, and how do you really know? People get so excited, they're like, hey, you know, Vanessa, Hugh, there's this new company, it's pre-launching. It's great, get in first. Fantastic, you know, it sounds good because, you know, you want to be in early so you know, you can build, but, you know, the company's gone in a very short period of time. So you want to look at the management team. You know, I believe everything starts with management. You know, Bill Gates, if Bill Gates started a second software company, well, it's probably going to be pretty successful, you know. So that's, I believe, the first starting point, is looking at the management team. Making sure what they've done is in the same space. I have people come up to me and they say, well, there's this company that has just started and this guy is running it. He's a billionaire. And it's in, you know, the network marketing space. But he was a billionaire in real estate. So he knows nothing about this industry. But people go, well, he's a billionaire, so he must be successful. You know what? I'm an electrician. I can wire a house and I can, you know, fix industrial equipment. But, you know, if I started a software company, I wouldn't be very good because it's not my forte, you know, it's not my area of expertise.
Okay.
So now, do you evaluate these businesses for yourself and then you get involved with these businesses, or do you act as a consultant helping other entrepreneurs evaluate business opportunities primarily?
Well, I work with a bunch of people that have been consultants to the industry for a lot of years, and, you know, consulted to the big companies, help them write the pay plans, and they consult to, you know, to people. I don't necessarily consult to people, you know, for money. I'll give people my honest opinion and try and guide them towards something that makes sense. And I don't, you know, I don't look at a bunch of things and join companies. I love looking at people's deals because, you know, most times they're looking at getting into them, and they'll say, hey, I'm looking at this, and, you know, I look at it. I want to help them. I don't want them to get into a bad deal, because that's what happened to me. You know, I had the switch turned on, and I thought, wow, this sounds great, and the people that told me, you know, they were going to help me become very successful, for one thing, they'd never done it before, and, you know, it didn't work, and I didn't know why. I didn't know how to evaluate. I wish somebody had told me, you know, back then, this is what you want to look for, and you want to do your due diligence. You know, don't just jump in because it sounds great.
Right.
So you know, I don't really get paid, but you know, I want to help people.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I've seen that people get really excited when they hear about a new opportunity and their friend presented it to them, or somebody that they respect, and they don't realize there's more to it than that, right? There's so much to it. So what's the most important factor? Like, is it the person, or is there some kind of system that they can use to help them?
Well, every opportunity has a system, and, you know, if we go outside the network marketing space, you know, there's all kinds of different things. There's franchises. They have a proven system, but for the ordinary people like myself and so many other people, the people that I really want to, you know, get the word to, we can't afford a franchise. You know, $250,000, $500 million for a franchise, and you've bought yourself a job. You've mortgaged yourself into a job, and, you know, a lot of them don't succeed.
Yeah. And there's some huge, awesome success stories like Tim Hortons or McDonald's, but a lot of them, you're taking a bigger risk. Yeah. Right.
And you know, some people say, well, I'll start my own business. I'll start a cleaning business. Great. You know, there's no leverage there. You're going to work really, really hard. You might as well just have a job. You know, maybe you're making a little bit more money, but unless you can have that leverage with other employees. But also employees, you know, equate to headaches sometimes as well. You know, what you want to look for, you know what, I don't know if there's anything that's really more important than any other part. There's the 5 keys. The management team, there is the sirens in the background, no, there's the management team, there is the products. You know, you have to have a great product. And I think, you know, with the management team, if you have a great management team, they will bring on great products because, you know, they're probably pretty experienced in something very, very good, you know, be it natural products or be it technology or something like that. They'll bring on great products. You also want to have a really good pay plan. You know, you want to make sure that you're getting paid well for what you do. And you know, pay plans, they're very complicated.
And did you mention you've helped companies write their pay plans?
No, I haven't personally, but the people that I'm working with have spent, you know, decades helping companies write pay plans and expand globally and, you know, be able to have success and grow.
Now, are we talking about primarily network marketing?
Primarily network marketing, yes.
Okay.
You know, there's so many other different types of businesses. There's, you know, like I said, there's the franchises. You could have your own, you know, a cleaning business, or like my parents did, a TV repair shop, or you could start a consultancy company. You know, to start a consultancy company, you have to have experience in that field to begin with. So you can't just say, well, I'm going to start something now, and I'm going to be a consultant to the, you know, engine block manufacturing, you know, industry or something. So what I see, you know, I want to get, if you don't understand the industry, the network marketing, relationship marketing industry, you know, you really want to, if you have a preconceived notion, you want to look into it. And, you know, Tim Sales has some great stuff called Brilliant Compensation that really explains the essence of the industry. But it's something where everybody can participate. You can really, you know, you can really have the financial freedom that people are looking for if you find a good company. And you can, you know, you can do great things. It's not a perfect industry, but I believe it's, you know, it's the most fair one. And so, and it's everything. It's something that everyone can participate in, and that's what I like.
Now, okay, so I want, because some people, when they hear the word network marketing, some people are going to get a bad idea about that right away, right? And there's an awful lot of people that have gotten involved in network marketing that have, like, I wonder what the statistics are of all the people that have ever gotten involved in network marketing. How many people actually ever made any money, right? Because we know that now, I'm a fan, actually, of network marketing. I think it's a great way to grow a business, but the question is, because of the way that what you call pay
plan?
Pay plan.
Compensation plan, whatever.
Are set up in such a way, almost always in network marketing, that the people that get in early and do a good job of developing their networks, but especially if they get in early, because it pays up to the levels that are closest to the center of the network. What are your comments about that?
Well, you know, people say, is this one of those deals where the people get in early make the most money? Yeah, that's capitalism. You know, if I bought, or my grandfather bought a piece of property in Toronto 100 years ago, he got in early, and if he sold it today, he'd make more money than I would if I bought it 5 years ago. Yeah. You know, the people that get in and start any company, the people that got into Microsoft, you know, at the start, they were cleaners or whatever staff, they had some stock. They got in early, and the stock went through the roof. They made fortunes because they got in early. That is just the way capitalism works. People have a stigma about the relationship marketing industry, and, you know, a lot of the times are changing. You know, the pay plans are changing. Things are really changing. If somebody says, you know, well, you know what, I saw Amway, great. You know, what does Amway have to do with a company that's here in today's day and age? You know, you could say, I saw a Model T Ford, I don't want to buy a car because it looks like a piece of junk. Well, you know, look at a new car. Look at a new company. Look at a new pay plan. The old pay plans, you know, they were, like you've said, they were geared to the people at the top just making the money basically off of the people at the bottom. A real fair pay plan is where everybody benefits. And you know, you can, one of my mentors, he made over $400,000 a month. He said somebody came into the business 10 years after him and made twice as much as that because the pay plan was fair. That's the way it should be. It shouldn't be based on, I recruit one person and I sit back and I get rich. You know, it should be based on your performance, which the good plans and the good companies are.
Exactly.
And that's what I love about the industry.
Yeah, that's been my experience too. It doesn't really matter where, at what point you start the business. It really depends on who you are, who you know, and the support system as well. There's a lot of people, they come in later, and because they work hard. Basically, most people fail because they don't keep going. Yeah, you can't really fail until you keep working the business. And then if you follow, the plan, you'll get there.
Yeah, you know, that's true, but you need to have the right opportunity, you need to have something that makes sense as well. And timing, like you can say, well, it doesn't matter when you get in. Well, it does if your company is going to go through momentum. If you've got a company that's, say, 36 years old and you got in 10 years ago, probably not much difference between 10 years ago and today. If today, today's company's 35 years old and 10 years ago was 25, not a lot of difference. But if you can get in before the momentum period, if a company, if you believe it's going to go through momentum, and it's like having stock or money in the bank, and the interest rates are going to go through the roof. When people said, hey, I don't want to buy Nike shoes, what are these $100 shoes, why do I need them? And then all of a sudden it went bang, every kid wanted them. If you can be in before that point where the stock goes through the roof, or the company's momentum, the growth of the company, where the distributors are coming on so fast and customers are coming on so fast because the brand is out there in the market, and the buzz, if you can get in before then, and your team can grow globally, and that's another thing, being in before the company has expanded globally. If you can be in at the very start, there's just so many things to it that, like I said, we don't understand. And then another critical one, your mentorship. Who is mentoring you? Who is training you? Is it some guy that just got in, 6 months ago and he's never done that before? Or is it somebody that has achieved huge success? If you want to make $5,000 a month, you probably should be trained by somebody that's made $5,000 a month. If you want to make the huge money, if you want to make $1 million a year, you better be trained and mentored by somebody that's made $1 million a year or more. And you better be willing to learn, and grow. People think, hey, you know what, I'm going to get in, I'm going to get rich right away. It's like anything, it's a profession. It took me 4.5, 5 years to learn how to become an electrician. It didn't happen overnight. So.
Exactly. So timing's important also, and it's also important who your mentor is. Very,
very important.
Right.
Okay. What are some of the good opportunities right now in terms of network marketing?
Well, I don't want to single out any one or two companies. I really don't want to do that. I just want to be able to, kind of be generic, give generic information out. I'd love to promote my company. I'm not going to do that because, I don't think that'd be fair. But I do want to educate people. For me, it doesn't matter if somebody joins my company or the company it's not my company, the company that I'm with, or if they join another good company. If they join an old company, that's great, that's solid, that's going to be around for a long time. If that's what they want, that's great. If, I want to try and help people achieve what their goals and their dreams are, and, do it in the most efficient way, and, have the best chance for the greatest success, really.
I wonder what percentage of economic activity is being done by network marketing companies now. Because at one time it was a new concept, right? I think Amway was probably the pioneer of the concept. But there's new companies all the time selling, new kinds of products all the time. So I'm kind of curious, what percentage of overall the economy is
That's a great question.
Is being handled by the network marketing companies?
There is, from what I understand, $30 billion in the United States per year, and over $100 billion a year worldwide, and it's growing. It's grown, I believe, about 91% in the last 56 years that the industry has existed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So now
it's fascinating.
Fascinating.
Yes.
One of the things that I've been to some network marketing things, right? Where you go to the meetings and whatever. It's rah-rah. It's like a gospel.
Like a camp
thing.
Summer camp.
It's a
yeah.
But it's a cult.
Well, you said it, but
it's true though. Some feel like that.
Actually, I was going to use the word culture.
Yes. Well, I know it. They say culture.
But there's a culture. A lot of times I've seen that culture, and I'm just thinking to myself, I don't fit into this culture. Like, it's just not appealing to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what do you think about that idea? Because the different companies have different cultures, and especially when it comes to network marketing.
Yeah. And
are they different, or are they all the same? What are your thoughts on that?
Is every church the same? Definitely not. And I've been, unfortunately, well, you know what, fortunately, because it gave me experience. But I've been to those meetings, and I've been even a part of some of those companies for a short period of time where the culture, the cultures will be completely different. One will be, hey, have a big knot on your tie and wear a big fancy suit and pretend that you're successful and look successful, and that's the culture of their company. Some will be just money, 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 money. Here's a big check. Those great big long checks. Look, I made $50,000 this past month, and their culture. There's so many different cultures. The culture that really attracts me is one of people working together. The company I'm presently with, the CEO of the company has done huge things in natural products industry, and he's grown major companies, and he's done that by creating a culture where everybody works together and everybody cares about people. Mm-hmm. And when you can have that type of a culture because if you know the industry, sometimes you'll have these different teams, and this team's doing great, this team isn't, but they're not sharing information, they're not helping each other cross-line. If you're not in my team, I'm not going to help you. If you can have a company where everybody across the whole company helps one another cross-line, upside down, it doesn't matter, then you'll be really successful.
Right.
That's, it's all about helping people, and if you can really just say, I don't care if you're on my team or if you're on Joe's team, I just want to help people. I want, because it benefits everybody long term. If everybody rises together, the company comes up, you help the company grow, you're going to grow, your business is going to grow. But some people don't get that.
Exactly. I've read, a lot of personal development books, and they all say the same thing, that people who succeed, they succeed once they start helping people, and the money, and the financial aspect becomes less important than helping other people.
And that's a good point, because when you run into a good salesperson in anywhere,
mm-hmm.
At a car dealership or a real estate person, any kind of salesperson, it's the ones that are really actually just trying to help you. The ones that are listening, not the ones who are talking, the ones who are listening, and the ones who are then sincerely trying to help you out.
Yeah.
That they don't even have to worry about the success then, because it's just that they're just going to be successful through that act of helping.
Yeah, that's very true. If some people say, well, I don't like sales, well, if you have to sell something, then you're doing it the wrong way. Mm-hmm. You're looking to see if there's a need there. If you're a professional, and the people that I'm working with they're all professionals. They've trained me to do the same thing. A lot of the culture in other companies has been just to talk to everybody and try and get them in your deal and try and convince them, like one of my mentors says. But if you just say, you have a conversation with you, and then I find out through that you don't spend time with your family, you don't get to spend, you're working really hard, you're making maybe really good money, but you're not spending a whole lot of time with your family like you'd like to be able to. And I just say to you, hey Hugh, if I could show you something where you could, start a part-time business and actually, it would outgrow your full-time income, and you could spend time at home with your family, would you be interested in having a look? Yeah. And if you say no, I'm going to go, okay, great, thanks for your time. Mm-hmm. Where a lot of people will try and convince you, oh, but you need it, it'd be great. That's not how to be successful. Yeah. If you don't have a need, and I try to convince you, I'm not going to be successful. And if you have a need, and you don't see it, and it's not the right time for you, and I try to convince you, I'm still not going to be successful. If you have a need, and I can fill it, it's the right time, that's where the success happens.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're just about out of time here, Rob, but it's great to hear all this stuff. And do you have any final thoughts, though, you want to leave people with?
Yeah, do your homework. Talk to some people that have done it before. Sometimes they're hard to find, and I found that people that have been semi-successful, they want to be the expert. They want to say, oh, you know what, that one's no good. But do your due diligence. Like use MLM Watchdog. Try and get to, if you're looking at a company, talk to the people in the company. Try and talk to some of the leaders with the company. Talk to the founders of the company, the major players, to find out what the culture is, what their plan is. Ask the questions before you can get in. But do your due diligence, but do it fast. Don't sit on it forever. Right. Commit to personal growth, like you said, Vanessa. It's very important to grow. It's a great industry. In any business that you have, be it network marketing or sales, insurance, or whatever, if you can really help people and feel good about yourself, you'll be successful, if it makes sense. So just, commit to helping people. That's what I think.
Okay. Those are some great final words.
Yeah. And if people want to get in touch with you, because that's what you do, you help people evaluate business opportunities, Rob, what's the best way for people to do that?
I'm on Facebook, Rob Shaw, SHAW. You can call me 647. I don't know if I'm allowed to put my
Sure.
647-746-5769. That's 5769. I'm on MySpace, and achieveyourfreedom@gmail.com. You can get a hold of me. Get a hold of these guys. I'm sure they can get a hold of me as well. And I'll get you the information. I'll get you lots of great free training. There's audio stuff. There's just a whole ton of stuff that I can get you to help you with your business if you're not going where you want to go, and to really help you, maybe see why you're not going there, and help get you there. So.
Okay. All right, Rob. Great to meet you. Great to have this conversation. Thanks.
Thank you very much
for coming in.
Thank you, Rob.
Thanks, Vanessa.
And we are going to take a little break and come back with Lynn Adamson right after this. We're going to find out how to do effective social change here on Liquid Lunch. We'll be right back. ThatChannel.com.
You missed me.